everyone, and welcome back to yet another Zodiac relationship analysis with Big Ed and Rose, yours truly, Miss Colleen. We are going to look at yet a different situation that has presented itself between the both of them, mainly that Big Ed wants Rose to take an STD test. So the main purpose of these videos is to be educational, to learn the different aspects and elements that certain signs have, especially when taken to a negative extreme, emphasis on that, and understanding why these elements come together the way they do, and how can individuals best improve those traits within themselves. And now today there will be an extra little segment that I'm going to add in as well. I thought it was already quite relevant now that we're reaching to this point where we're getting through the introductions, ready to get to know them a little bit about their signs. Now we're just looking mostly at the interactions, and I would even say also the drama and the tension that is building. So we're going to have a look at this episode, but also we will have a reading further on. Not exactly for Big Ed and Rose. I'm just letting you know now. That is a very strong ethical boundary that I have. You do not read for somebody who is not there and cannot consent unless that one of those people in that relationship is asking you to look into things from their perspective. Just letting you know that, should not be doing that. But the reading would be for those out there who may find themselves in similar situations. What are you meant to do if you find yourself in something like this, with similar elements and signs at play? So we'll see a bit more of that later. I'm going to pop in the disclaimer right above here once again. Have a read. I'm well aware this is fully edited, dramatized, and I'm just using the CC. This all belongs to TLC, this episode that we're going to watch now, and I understand it is not fully representative of relationships. Okay, it is partially representative, but not fully. I acknowledge that. This is meant to be more as an example for educational and spiritual purposes. So let's watch.
Tired of me asking about your past, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to put it behind us. But I have a favor.
What the favor?
So there's a test that you can take.
You test me?
No, yeah, it's a test for I don't know if you understand it. It's STD, which is I think it's a blood test, and they just test to see if you have like sexually transmitted disease. So I was asking if you're willing to take that test. I'll never ask you another question.
That face, Rose, just letting you know now, Filipinos don't have a very good educational system when it comes to things like what STDs are, right? And, you know, in general, things around that area, it is not something that a lot of them would know about, or even if they'd have to find out by themselves. And so, oh, for Rose.
About your past.
I'm disappointed. I finally understand what he said about STD test. I feel hurt. I feel, my heart cracked. You want to test me. I feel you not trust me. Okay? I feel offended.
Look at that. Look at that. That is the aggressive Sagittarian coming out, right? So Rose is Sagittarius, just to make it clear, and Big Ed is Taurus. And you see how blunt she is and how forward she is. This is what I'm feeling. I'm hurt right now. I'm insulted. And she just comes straight out with it. So kudos to you for being so straightforward, especially when Big Ed can be a bit of a strong and somewhat stubborn presence to be around.
I don't mean to offend you, but every time I asked you about your Facebook friends, every time I asked you about past relationships, you don't want to talk about it. So I'm not comfortable.
You're not comfortable
I'm not
with
comfortable.
me?
No, I'm not. I wanted to take the STD test because I want to know for myself that I can trust her and that You know, she's not someone that sleeps around. Thank you very much. So take this simple test, and I'll never ask you again.
Okay. Also, you too. You have a test.
You want me to take a test?
Yeah, both of us.
I would feel comfortable in the States. I'll take a test, but I'm not going to do it here. I would feel more comfortable.
Because if I'm first I take, it's unfair. I feel angry. I feel, oh, why they treat me like this?
Why can't you talk about your last relationship?
Always pass, pass, pass. My mind is, why you always ask me pass? For what? For what? It's a pass. So, pass is pass. It never come back.
Okay, but then that's not fair to me. I can't trust you at this point. I need some mirror, okay?
See how they just come from completely different directions. He doesn't understand why she's not that comfortable with the topic. Well, she does have a justification. You know, they've only met each other. Why should they know things about, you know, the past to that extent? It is a new relationship, even more so in person. But I think it is something that people should know in relationships. I mean, eventually. But her priority is keeping things as easy flowing as possible, to still keep it fun and passionate. And he just doesn't see that. He's like charging right on ahead. He has stuck to this point, to wanting to know this information, and he's not giving up. There is that, extreme stubbornness that Taurus can really, really demonstrate every now and then. It's a bit disappointing. I would say it's really weird for them to have this conversation and not have a healthier way of communicating these priorities and needs.
You okay?
What's wrong?
It hurt. It hurt. Sorry.
So frustrating because I don't think she understands why I need to know that. And I certainly don't understand why she's hiding things from me. You want to talk about it?
I'm going to go home on my own. Tingin niya sa akin, marduming babae. Tingin niya sa akin na basta-basta babae lang. Hindi niya iniisip na girlfriend niya ako. Bakit niya ako pakukuhain ng ganyan?
I'm not going to leave you here. I want to make sure that you get home safe.
You don't worry about me.
No, I am going to worry about you.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Because I hurt.
Let me put that clearly. I can understand everything that she's saying without needing any subtitles. And she really did make a very strong emphasis on the fact that asking, and it comes from a place where, of course, she doesn't have that much education about these topics either. Not surprising and not her fault. That she takes it, she's very insulted because it it's not because it's, you know, it's a healthy relationship, and I don't think he's coming from that point of view either. But in a sense, she sees it as, what did she say? Yung parang kalat-karing babae. Yeah. So she does, it's a very unique term in the language that kind of means that you've been dragged around and used up. So she has this misconception that, and perhaps it is kind of true based on his intentions, but we all know that most healthy people are not doing that for that reason. But she takes it as, you see me as this dirty person who's been around. So it is very insulting. And look how she already says that I want to go home on my own. When they are hurt or when they are angry, when they are feeling vulnerable, Sagittarius really care about their independence. They're not people that would usually go to someone else straight away and then vent and then ask for comfort and whatnot. They want some time alone just to cool down, to process things. It kind of makes them a bit more chill compared to other fire signs who are just like, raw, everybody, I'm gonna barrage through you. I'm gonna be so angry. Everyone's gonna see it and feel it. Sagittarius are independent enough, independence in the terms of space, that they want to have time away from the scene and literally get, you know, they have that space to go through their emotions, which is anger right now. So yeah, it is, she wants to be by herself and she doesn't want Ed to be a part of it. And he just doesn't get that. He doesn't get any of this.
Home in my own, you know, it's what I mean, my feeling. So I want to be angry to you, but I love you, but I want to go home in my own. I don't need your worry right now, okay? I'm very hurt.
It was never my intention to hurt Rose in any way, but how can we begin our life on a foundation of honesty if she won't be upfront with me? I love her, but I still have a lot of questions. I just want to know the truth. If you're willing to sit down and talk to me about even your last boyfriend.
What you want?
I want to know. I want to know where Prince's dad is. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life with somebody I can't trust.
You want no?
Oh, she is so aggressive. I love it because she's not taking it. Look at her eyes. She's like, and I can't take it that seriously when, if you see in the background between the both of them, there's a sign against the steel wall, whatever it is. And it says, you can't do toilet things around here because people do toilet things around that side of the street. It really reminds me of Manila. That is quintessential. You'll see that everywhere. So I can't take it. Did the producers do this on purpose? Like, put them in a frame where they're arguing when there's a sign of them. Don't do dirty toilet stuff here. As if some implication what they're doing is nasty. You know what I mean? Like, nasty, unhealthy. Okay. So, let's pick up some cards. Let's have a look. If you're in this situation, I'm just gonna divert the energy. If you're in a situation where you're feeling attacked and you feel like the other person is not understanding your priorities, you need space, and your partner is really not giving way and not being understanding and open to what you're saying, what do you do? Let's see what's going on in this situation and let's see what do you do. So this is going to go for both Rose and Ed. See who the cards really focus on and what it's about. So if you are in a situation like this, what do you do? Whether you are the Rose or Big Ed. So let's have a look. All right, so here's our little break where we're doing a reading. So I'm going to pick up. So you can't see this exactly, but I can. So we're going to pick up 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. We've got the Moon in reverse, 10 of Cups in reverse, and the 2 of Wands. And really, this signals the chaos that's happening right now. It is so confusing. They're just missing each other's point at this stage, right? And the 10 of Cups in reverse, this was not the ideal, happy, we're together couple image that they both had. Now that image is being betrayed. It's being deconstructed, and that's really sad. right? So to them, I think part of the tension that's happening right now and the anger that's coming through them is because of that disappointment as well. The disappointment that it's not exactly as they imagined it to be, and it wasn't as harmonious as they expected it would be. So we do have that chaos and that, I would even say, like that feeling of betrayal, right? And then you've got the Two of Wands. This is them at each other's end, wanting to see what the other person has intended for them. And that intention, you know, wanting to know, what does he want? What does she want? Has led them to this chaos because they had completely different expectations in mind. So the cards are saying here, manage your expectations and make it very, very open. You are two people who have never met each other in your life before. Even if you were in an online relationship, was it like 3 months or something like that? That is so little, even for people who've been together in person. So why are we jumping onto these? And I guess it is that whole fiance thing. Why are you marrying straight away? And you can visit each other for a while. Cultivate a more in-person relationship before you go on to something like that. So really, there's too much rushing around here. If they said, you know, we've been together for a year before we met up, then I would understand this a bit better. But dude, even just in general, you really, in all levels, hardly know each other. All right, what should you do if you find yourself in a situation like this? So let's see what's happening here. We've got Hermit in reverse, King of Cups reversed, and the Seven of Pentacles. Back up. Back up. Okay? Rose is doing the right thing here. If you do something like Rose is doing, back up and think about things by yourself. Because we see here King of Cups in reverse is Ed right now. He thinks he understands. He thinks, you know what, you're hiding things that I can't. He's trying to open it up from a place of trust. And she just doesn't understand that. And you should know the signs when somebody's not understanding where you're coming from. And there's nothing wrong, especially with that Hermit there. Back up. Have a think about what you'll say next. Maybe get somebody who could, like, you know, like a counselor or a therapist to mediate between the both of you. Know when to recognize when you're not understanding each other. All right? Know when to understand and see that. And sometimes there's a tactical retreat. You don't have to hash everything out right there. So really, don't assume that you can understand by pushing further. Know when you should stop, retreat, and have a think about it. Because look at that Seven of Pentacles. All these mounting expectations and ideas are there. And you know, if I just keep pushing, I keep doing. This is Ed's mindset, right? If I keep pushing and doing and pressuring, I'll finally get what I want. You're not getting it, dude. It's not how it works. So really, the best thing is to really come apart from each other. Have a think about, wait, why is that person reacting in that way? And maybe they misunderstood what I meant. So let me understand what they meant. And then let's come back to the conversation and the communication a bit later from a different perspective. Let's try a different approach and maybe ask for help from someone who can facilitate that healthy conversation if need be. So remember, if you're in this situation, know when to retreat. Okay, don't, you know, it's that pride too. Just because you're pushing more doesn't mean that you know what's going on and that you can solve it right there. So that really is what's happening right here. Now let's keep watching. Finish this up.
Who's the father's your prince? It is my own, her life. Her life is her own, her baby, her own wife. So I never talked to her. It never, ever.
And that was 4 years ago, right? Talk to me about what's happened in the last 4 years.
I have two boyfriends. It's hurt to me, so I leave. I don't have any voice anymore. That's all.
This is all I wanted was what you just said. That's right there. That's all I wanted.
Hindi ka nakakaintindi.
Okay.
Don't want to talk to you because you don't understand me.
Well, hello. I don't speak Tagalog, please.
Sa'yo, balak sa buhay mo.
Rose,
Iinis
we're
na ako.
getting somewhere. Please.
Pag lagi niya pinaglalaban, ah. Kasi sa akin, parang wala siyang tiwala sa akin. just happened?
I don't know. But I do not believe in love.
Okay, this is what happens when you think that it's worth pushing. And it wasn't, because what was the cost? You literally created the biggest rift between you and your partner. And he's just learned this lesson right now. Like, oh, I think I got it. I got the answer. Well, what mess are you in now? So really looking at it, this is a classic, I would even say, of course, the extreme negative situation, right? Of when you need to know where the limits are and when you need to let someone have their space. And, you know, I think Rose is in such control of herself to know when to hold back and to express her feelings and know when she wants to leave. She expressed the need to want to leave first. So I hope that clears things up, seeing the size of the earthy, the immovable earth and the very expressive fire that she is. And you see that completely play into their communication. I hope this has been very educational for you and that you gain a few insights from it, especially with yourself and people you may know who may have some of these traits, even to just a small extent, and that it helps you understand it a little bit better. If you're wanting a bit more advice and insight on relationships, let me know, contact me. I'm happy to read and see what's going on, but otherwise, have a great day. Till next time.